What's up, everybody? It's Get Good Millhouse. I'm trying to get good on a daily basis. Right now, this is the video I've been putting out for like a long time, and this is a video that I have been trying to get out for a while now. It took me a little bit longer to finish. I was having a lot of issues when it came to just deciding what look I was trying to go for. The original sketch, now that I'm looking at it, it's pretty cool. I tend to like it a little bit more, but I was just trying to go for a different feel for this one. I had a lot of technical difficulties. Computer was freezing a lot, so you might see big jumps in here and there, and I'll try to do my best to explain what happened. Right now, as you can see, I'm just doing a basic line work over the original sketch. Still trying to see what I was trying to go for. I was trying to do like a more urban like samurai chick but I don't know, I'm just playing around with this sketch, and the entire purpose of this video is just to show my process on how I create my pieces. I have some people on Instagram that message me saying that they like to see tutorials or see something of me, and I was like, sure, why not? My process is not that eye-popping or like mind-blowing or anything like that, but there are some few things here that could help you, and hopefully that will help you. So again, I'm just going over the line work, trying to get it to look as clean and presentable as possible, trying to get a good feel of the entire piece and what I'm trying to convey here. Yeah, so from this point, it's just me cleaning up the lines, really refining it. I like to go over my drawings a couple of times for me, I used to do tattoos, so when it came to drawing something, like instead of like calling it done in the first sketch, you draw it like 3 to 4 times, because with every different iteration of the sketch, it seems like I add something better to it, like a better element that makes it look a little bit more pleasing to the eye, or make it look a little bit more cooler than the original sketch. So I tried going over it like a bunch of times just to see if I like it or not. This thing was like a big pain in my butt, because at some point I was ready to like throw in the towel, but I was trying to be committed and like, no, I'm making this into a video. Making this into a video. I'm gonna see it through. And a lot of the times when I'm drawing or painting or whatever, I tend to kind of like emotionally give up before even finishing it, or even like proceeding to like even call it near done or anything like that. I just like to give up right at the beginning sometimes. Right now I'm doing a masking portion of the entire piece. So basically I have my line work, and once it's all nice and clean, I will use the magic wand tool, select the outsides of my image, and I will go to select, modify, and contract by 3 or 5, just to get the selection line to be a little bit more of the darker sides of the line, so there won't be no spaces or any gaps in between the background or anything like that. So select it, I fill by hitting Shift F5, and I'll fill the entire selection, and I'll start masking off and coloring different portions of my characters so I can have them nice and separated. I think right here is where I'm trying to like add in a type of hue. I don't think it went very well in my opinion. I added in like red, because underneath our skin, or if you have light hitting our skin, you'll see like a tint of red. So I try to convey that within the early masking portion of this entire piece. choosing colors that would mix well. And from this at this point, I guess like right after I'm done with the masking and making sure that everything's nice and clean, I'm very like anal about everything. So I gotta make sure that every piece is like filled. Even though if you zoom out, and this is my problem that I've been suffering from, I zoom in way too much, where you don't really have to zoom in. Like, no one's gonna see all the small little mistakes and stuff like that, even if it's like something quick. But I like to zoom in, make sure I get everything tip top perfect, because I don't know, in my head I'm thinking like someone's gonna see this, zoom in, and then call me out, and that probably won't be the case. So I'm doing the skin finally. The brushes that I use, if you guys ever have any questions, I use Kenan Lafferty brushes. They're pretty solid. I don't think there's a definite brush that makes an entire piece. It's really how you use it. You can use a soft brush or a basic Photoshop default brush, and you can still produce the same amount of quality if anyone else would when they're using certain brushes. It's really on the person and how they use it. And I truly believe that. I have like so many brushes, and sometimes it just feels like it just doesn't even matter. Right now I use a lasso tool to define some of the areas where I want shading to be on the clothes, and I think that's like another weak something I'm kind of weak at. Like, that's one of the things. Like, as I'm like looking over this video and doing a voiceover for it, I'm seeing a lot of things where I'm having like problems with, and now I'm like, all right, cool, I can identify those problems, and I can go back and improve on those, work on those things that I have difficult issues with, like hands, or maybe my eyes are like just too generic, and I need to like go back and study the anatomy of eyes and see what I can do and play around with that and try out different styles. I don't really have a style. I had someone on DeviantArt contact me saying that he loved my style and doesn't know why, he just loves it, which is very nice and flattering. And I'm like, really, you like my style? It's not that great. But I'm glad you like it. I'm glad someone likes it. But I don't really have a style. I just draw. I just do whatever I can. So it's probably the reason why like my sketch earlier looked so different from this one right now. I had a lot of issues with the hair. The hair was something that I couldn't like wrap my head around, and I was really trying to make the hat work. But I think at some point I kind of just get rid of the hat. I just want to keep the main focal elements, which is this really intense girl, and she is pulling out her sword in a nice cool way or whatever. And I don't know, I'm just having fun with Photoshop at this point. I'm just trying things out, seeing if I like the results or don't like the results, and that's basically all my my videos so far, especially when it comes to speed art. A lot of them are it's just me playing around with Photoshop and seeing what I like and what I don't like, what I feel more comfortable with doing, and what I've been really trying to do, especially at this point in my artwork. I try to look up various ways of coloring a character and painting them and seeing which I like more, in the sense of the process. Like what process do I feel comfortable doing? And to be honest, I don't feel comfortable with like any of these. I never feel comfortable with a lot of the stuff here. I try to with the hair, I tried doing the Sakimi-chan thing, and use a soft round brush and like try to blend those different strands, and it just was not working out for me. I just kind of I know at some point I just kind of like, well, I'm done with this, and that's the reason why I even left the hair so like in a weird shape. Like, I didn't define any of the strands or the curves that go inside the hair, I kind of left it open so I can try painting in the curves and the strands of hair, and you really try to follow along with Sakimi-chan's tutorials or advice when it comes to painting hair and how she does it. So yeah, just not working out for me at all. I got kind of like frustrated to the point where I'm like, you know what, maybe no one's gonna see my previous video of like, oh, my upcoming video, like my speed art, but now I'm like, okay, well, I already put it out there, so I might as well just commit to it and finish it. I like to use Liquify. I use Liquify like as whenever I can, just to I don't know, make the eyes pop out a little bit more, or thin out the face, or fix positionings on things, and then like probably paint over it or rework on it even more. And I feel like there's no shame using Liquify at all. Photoshop is here to help you. You know, it's an option there. I feel like there's no reason to be a purist about everything, especially when it comes to digital artwork. There's so many ways of painting and creating something on Photoshop where it'd be a shame and a waste, especially like for the subscription. It's like a waste of money for me if I'm not gonna use everything about it or use every aspect or portion of Photoshop. And I'm like, no, I'm a true artist. I have to draw everything by hand, and I gotta know everything like straight up. A lot of times I learn a lot more when I use the Liquify tool or any of the other options here in Photoshop. I see where like, okay, thanks to this I was able to brighten up the image and try out different colors, and I can see what works and what doesn't. At this point I got rid of the hat. No more hat, no hats. The hat was not working for me. Now I'm just trying to model the hair. I was really trying to get the shine down right, and for some reason I just couldn't get the shine. This painting became more of a chore than actually like having fun. It was just like, why won't you work? Why won't you be pretty? Why won't you be appealing? I have this new painting I'm working on, and it made me understand that what really makes a good drawing is the foundation of the drawing itself. So if you start off with a really good sketch and really work on that sketch, the overall outcome of your piece or of your painting will look a little bit more appealing, and you will have an easier time when it comes to finalizing it and rendering it and coloring it and making sure that everything's right, because the foundation's already been laid out, and at that point it's pretty much like good to go. Like you wouldn't have any problems with like, oh, I guess the shading or the areas where there should be some shadows, or you know, or I have to paint in a lot of the details of let's say for the sword and the values in between the materials and like what casts light and what doesn't. Once you start off with like a strong drawing, you can you can I was like, oh, it paused for a second, but yeah, it would just make everything a lot easier. I think that's almost, I'm wrapping it up at this point. I threw in a background, and I use a non-copyrighted background. Then I used what's it? It's filter gallery. And instead of using Gaussian blur, I use paint daubs to have it look more painterly. And I use paint daubs a couple times. I even use a Gaussian blur twice, and then like the filter gallery 3 times, just to make it look a little bit more painterly, I guess. But it's just a background. I'm not really big on backgrounds right now. It's just something, instead of like having a plain white background or like anything behind it. So I'm just throwing a photo and try to mess around with the filters. And right now I'm throwing in a gradient mask on it. The gradient is like kind of like a Photoshop's Instagram filter, and I lower the opacity and I play with the blending modes to see what I like a little bit more of it. think at this point, let's wrap it up. I think that's about it. Yeah, right now I use the levels, and that's basically it. Yeah, this piece it took me a little bit longer than I expected it to be, and I learned a lot from it, especially when it comes to pushing yourself a little bit more. But the next video, hopefully I have like a better concrete, full-on detailed voiceover for it, for the fact that like I had too many problems recording this. Like my computer froze a couple times where I lost a lot of my work, and the video that I was recording the video was like corrupted or whatever, and it just doesn't work. So the only thing I have is this. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys like the content that I'm pulling out, yeah, comment, subscribe, message me, give me some feedback or whatever. And if you guys are true fans, or you like to learn as I learn, because that's what I'm doing right now. I just like to learn as much as I can, and I just like to regurgitate that, and it just makes it even easier for myself to learn a little bit more on its own. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below on what you guys have problems with, or what do you guys find the hardest part when it comes to finishing artwork, or even drawing in general, and then maybe I can like shed some light on it. I'm just trying to kind of like build a community and where we all just help out each other with a bunch of information, because I know it's just really hard being an artist and understanding all the fundamentals that go with it. It's pretty extensive. Quick little update: I've been working on a new style of a new way to color and render my characters. I've been following a lot of QBrush tutorials, and I'm also been doing environment painting. So trying to get really good at that. I will have more content when it comes to that, when I get around to recording all of it. I think that's about it, and I'll see you guys later. You guys have a blessed day, and peace.